everyone, it's me, Mr. G. Welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to another collections video. Today I thought let's tackle the original Game Boy. I was going to do the Game Boy and the Game Boy Color together, but when I took out my games from my collection, I had no idea how many games I actually had. It's actually quite crazy how many games I've collected over the years. So I thought today I'll do the original Game Boy, and tomorrow I'll do the Game Boy Color. So anyway, most of these games I found in Goodwill and yard sales and thrift stores and out in the wild. One I picked up off Facebook Marketplace. A couple of years ago, a guy had listed a Game Boy Micro with a whole bunch of games, and he wanted $60 for it. Now, I was looking for a Game Boy Micro for years. They're super expensive. It was like the #1 thing I wanted for my collection. So when I saw the posting on Facebook, I jumped on it and I drove to his house like 100 miles an hour, and I got a Game Boy Micro for $60, and he had a whole bunch of amazing Game Boy games in it. So I got a lot of games from that collection, from his collection too, that it went into my collection, and I got it for super cheap. So anyway, let's jump into the collection. Let's have a look at everything I have, and let's just jump straight into it. So I do have an original Game Boy that I picked up in Goodwill. I think I paid like $5 for it. It's not in the best condition, but it does work. So I do have that for $5. And then I went to a yard sale a couple of years ago close by me, and there was a family having an estate sale, big double-story house. And I asked the mother in front if she had any games, and she said no, she had no games. So I walked around to the back because they had the back open, and sitting on a table was a little baggie, and it had a Game Boy Pocket, a silver Game Boy Pocket, which is amazing, with a whole bunch of games, and it had $7 listed on the bag. So I was super stoked to get it. So I got a Game Boy Pocket with a whole bunch of Game Boy games with $7. So I have a Game Boy and a Game Boy Pocket. And then when I went into Goodwill once, there was a whole bunch of Game Boy games in the front counter behind the glass cabinet, and some of them actually had the little booklets. So I got Tetris DX booklet, Bugs Bunny booklet, Faceball. It came with this booklet. It's kind of pricey game. It's one of the more expensive Game Boy games. And then I also got the booklet for Alleyway. So I have 4 booklets for some of my games. And then let's just jump into the games. So I have All-Star Challenge Basketball, F1 Race, Bugs Bunny, which I showed you the booklet, Revenge of the Gator. I have no idea what that is. Motocross Madness, Super RC Pro M. Is it Pro M? Pro Am. Pro Am, sorry. Little Mermaid, Yoshi's Cookie, Dr. Mario, Alleyway. I showed you the booklet for that. Pretty much everybody on the planet owns a copy of this. Tetris. It's one of the best-selling games of all time. That's why there's so many in the wild. Pac-Man, Terminator 2, one of my favorite movies of all time. I think I watched it like 15 times. Addams Family. And then 2 sports games, Tetris and golf. Classics for the system. And now we're getting into the better games. All of them do have their protective plastic sleeves. I do have protective plastic sleeves for most of them. So we have Primal Rage, Tetris 2, Kirby's Dream Land, Super C, that's a good one. Kirby's Pinball Land, another Kirby game. Ninja Boy, I believe that's an expensive game, but I need to look it up. And then Batman. I think Batman Returns is my favorite Batman movie. I love Catwoman in that movie. And then another good one, Star Soldier. And then here's some pretty good ones. Super Return of the Jedi, Final Fantasy Legends, and Final Fantasy 2. This was in that lot with the Game Boy Micro I picked up. The guy had so many good games in that lot. It was crazy. And let's jump into some more right now. So we have Mortal Kombat 2. Wario Land, a classic for the Game Boy. Another great game. Street Fighter 2. Amazing game. And then this one I actually picked up when I was in England last. Double Dragon 2. So I picked that up. And then we have Super Mario Land 2. And the first Super Mario Land, which is also a very, very common game. Everybody has that. And then we're getting into the best of the best now. I have Donkey Kong Land 1, 2, and 3. In a nice little yellow cartridge. Donkey Kong Land 1, Donkey Kong Land 2, and Donkey Kong Land 3. So I have all the Donkey Kong Lands. Really, really cool. And then an absolute classic. I never played this, unfortunately. I only played the remake on the Switch. Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening. Really, really amazing game on the Game Boy. And then these are my most expensive games in my collection. These were all found in Goodwill, which is really crazy, especially the last one. So Faceball, as I said, it's actually dropped in price. It used to be way more expensive. I found that in Goodwill with its booklet. It used to go for a lot more, but it's actually dropped in price. And in this, I picked up for $4 in Goodwill. Metro 2, which is a classic game. I found that in Goodwill for $4. And then I have this one I picked up on. It was in the Game Boy Micro lot from the guy I picked up. Mega Man 4. Mega Man 4 is now an $80 to $90 game. Can you believe it? This is worth $80 to $90. It's one of my most expensive games in my collection. And then this one is a crazy story. I walked into Goodwill and they had some Game Boy games. They had like Madden and all these games. And I wasn't fully collecting into the Game Boy then, so I didn't pick them up. And they sat there and eventually they went into half off sale, where I think the color was yellow and it went to half off. So I was like, okay, let me pick up this game. So I picked up this game, F1 Pole Position. I picked up this game. I think I paid like $1 or $2, and I came home and I put it in my collection and I didn't think anything about it. And then it sat there for a couple of years, never touched it, never played it. And then a couple of months ago, I signed up to Game Pricing, and you put in all your games in your collection, and they tell you how much they're worth and what your entire collection is worth. And I got an email from them a couple of weeks after that, and they said, oh, well, here's the top 10 games in your list that's worth the most money. And it was Chrono Trigger and Pokemon Stadium 2. Number 3 was F1 Pole Position, $135 game. This is a $135 game. And I looked at my email and I was like, what? Do I even own this game? What is this game? So I went to my collection and I took out the games, and there was this game sitting there. And I looked at it and it is mint. It is the mintest of mints. And I looked at it and I was like, what? So I thought maybe it's a fake. I opened up the back. I checked inside. It's a legitimate Game Boy Nintendo game. It's a $135 game in my collection, and I bought this at Goodwill for a couple of dollars, and I had no clue. So this is one of my most expensive games in my collection. Absolutely insane. I had no idea. And then I only have one box Game Boy game in my collection. Game Boy. Baseball. So I have baseball in my collection. I actually picked this up off Facebook Marketplace. The guy was selling a whole bunch of games. It's one of the few games that I actually paid money for. I wanted to pick it up because I love completed box games. So I added that to my collection. So yeah, that's my Game Boy collection. I have quite a few games for my Game Boy collection. It's kind of insane, and a lot of quality titles as well. It's a really cool system to collect for. I love finding games out in the wild for it. And as I said before, I was going to do my Game Boy Color with it, but I actually have so many Game Boy Color games as well that I thought tomorrow we would do that. So everybody can come back tomorrow to my channel and we can do my Game Boy Color games. So for now, I hope everybody enjoyed the video. I hope everybody enjoyed looking at my Game Boy games. Give me a like, subscribe. I'm Mr. G. I'm out.